So the Dragon Prince Season 5 is just over 2 weeks away, and yes, I'm going to investigate any and everything on social media linking to Season 5 and some special surprises ahead. Let's talk about what one of those might be right now. What's going on, everyone? James here with another real video on The Dragon Prince Season 5. Like I mentioned, July 27th is when Season 5 drops, so I'm so pumped. I can't wait to get prepped for all of my reactions, my reviews, my breakdowns. We're going to rank every character, we're going to rank every episode. It's going to be so much fun. But before we get there, we got to talk about a certain conversation over on Twitter. I know we're all threading these days, but you can also find me on Threads, but on Twitter, friend of the channel and cosplayer and big fan of The Dragon Prince, Avery Marie, tweeted something out, and co-creator of The Dragon Prince, Aaron Nahas, replied. Now, before we get into all of that and I dive into some of your theories on this tweet, if it is your first time here at the channel, welcome to Real James, where I love talking about all the movies, all the TV shows out there, all the news and everything in between. So if you don't want to miss out, hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, especially if you're a fan of The Dragon Prince. Come on over, join the real family, because we got a lot to talk about with Season 5. I'm sure of it. And guys, go ahead and get loud down below in the comments and let me know, hey, what's your theory based on this tweet? What do you think this special surprise could be? Alrighty, y'all. So, without further ado, let's get into the news. Recently on Twitter, the Dragon Prince's co-creator, Aaron Nahas, tweeted and replied to Avery Marie, a huge Dragon Prince fan that you might know of on social media, and she's a friend of the channel. But Avery Marie tweeted this, and I quote, "I would like to note that the 6-year-old I nanny for currently has beef against Wonderstorm for making her wait on The Dragon Prince Season 5. She told me to tell them that as if I knew them personally." So when I saw that, I figured, that's so cute, that's funny, these 6-year-olds, their imaginations. But it was Aaron Nahas' reply that made me raise my eyebrows. Aaron Nahas replied with this, and I quote, "Oh no, I am so sorry we are keeping her waiting. Would you please let her know there is a special surprise in Season 5 that I think she will really like, but I can't tell her until after the season is out." Hold up now, hold your horses here, okay, sir? You can't just throw out there's going to be a special surprise in Season 5. Now listen, with any new TV show, any new season of a TV show, I should say, there's going to be special surprises, right? But for him to say this, that the 6-year-old Avery Marie nannies for will like, that gets me thinking. So could it be a surprise that is just kind of small and cute, or could it be something overarching and big? Well, we're gonna dive into some of your theories now, because you guys give me a little bit of both. And a huge thank you to everyone that replied on that community post. I read through all of your theories and they were all great. Here are just some that I was able to pick out for the video. Let's begin with Hannah. Hannah's a friend of the channel. She said, "Mine is that the key of Erebos reveals to be the key to his prison." Now listen, y'all, this has been something we've been talking about since Season 1. What is this cube, this key, right? Could it be something that unlocks Erebos' prison, or is it something that unlocks whatever Erebos is, I don't know, going for, looking to have to maybe take over the world? Who knows? All right, only time will tell, but I do think that this cube, this key, is more important than we even know. Now moving on to this second comment, and it comes from Sasha, who's also a friend of the channel. Sasha says, "I think Rayla's parents, but I'm so excited for this, whatever it is. I would also love for it to be a new cute animal or something like that, something a 6-year-old would like. Maybe a nice Rayla moment. I'm excited for the new video." Thank you for those kind words, Sasha. But yes, I do think that a new animal getting introduced is probably likely. I mean, we know that they're going to now engage with the Tidebound elves. Tidebound Tina was introduced. She's not an animal, but I mean, there's bound to be some cute animals in this community. So I do think this happens. However, I have some thoughts about what you said when it comes to Raylum and why I do think that's actually something that Aaron Nahas could have been teasing towards as well. But we'll get there at the end. Let's now dive into Angel Rosales' comment, and they said maybe Erebos will take control of Callum, and now Rayla has to do whatever it takes to save Callum. Now listen, y'all, I have been wanting something like this in Season 5. What a story turn this would be. We already got a hint of that in Episode 4 of Season 4, where Callum is taken control of by Erebos, and it was pretty scary, honestly, and I could see something like that happening again in Season 5. Now, if we are going with the theory and thought that Aaron House was referring to a surprise that a 6-year-old would like, not necessarily sure this is what happens. But again, I'm not ruling it out completely because I do think something like this could happen in Season 5. So that was a great theory. Good job, Angel. Now, let's move on to, it says Montana Eagle, I think, 2601, and they said it has to be Raylan related. Maybe we'll get a kiss. Now, that better happen. Are you kidding me, guys? We didn't just get that clip from... Stargazing was the name of the clip from Season 5. We didn't get that for nothing, right? Where they were, all cuddly and talking about the Big Dipper, Little Dipper, and all that stuff. And I do think we'll get a Raylan moment. Actually, we'll get several Raylan moments. I think we get more than 2. I don't necessarily know if this is what that surprise is that Aaron House was talking about, but y'all, if this does not happen in Season 5, gonna be a little upset. Now, this next comment from Live South 8503 is a long one, but the essence of this comment was breaking down a few theories. One of them that I particularly liked and we'll pick out right now, which is, for me, maybe it would have been Zim getting his voice. Oh man, we've been waiting for this, haven't we? Zubeia, we've heard Zubeia's voice, we've heard all the Archdragon's voices, but we have not heard Zim's voice. We know that he sounds like a puppy currently. Literally, but I do think Zim is eventually going to get his voice. Just don't know if it happens in this season. I almost feel like it's still so soon because Season 5 is coming right after Season 4. I don't think there's much of a time skip, at least from what we've seen and heard. So I almost feel like maybe we're another 2 years away maybe from Zim getting his voice, and I think a time skip happens at the end of this arc, which would be at the end of Season 6. So maybe we just get Zim's voice in Season 7. But we'll see what happens. It's possible Zim speaks up and says something like, oh, I need a jelly tart. That would be actually kind of anticlimactic, but you get me, right? I think it'll happen when we least expect it. Now, this comment from Julie Hago 7964, these YouTube usernames are wild with the numbers. This comment is actually something I think is very likely to happen. I know there isn't any hinting to this, but wouldn't it be a surprise if they brought Ellis and Ava back? And the answer is absolutely it would be a surprise. I really do love those characters quite a bit. Ellis and Ava are just so wonderful. They're so joyous, optimistic, and it was really nice to see the backstory with Ellis and Ava as well. I think that they will come back. I just don't know if they come back right now. Maybe they do bring back some of those legacy fan favorite characters in the final season of the show when they get their endgame moment possibly to take down who I think will be the final villain of this series, and that is Claudia. We'll see what happens there. The verdict is still out. But Ellis and Ava being brought back this season, that would be pretty cute for a 6-year-old. So I don't see why that wouldn't happen, right? We can kind of, speculate as we get into Season 5 with each episode. It's possible they get brought back pretty early in Season 5, which would be very interesting because where do they fit right now? This seems to be a quest that is not fit for Ellis and Ava, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do bring them back as we round out this entire series. And the last comment that I picked out here is from Moonberries, a friend of the channel as well, and they said, maybe the surprise is Leola the Star Touch Unicorn, or hear me out, what if the surprise is another new jelly tart? But seriously though, I can't wait to find out. I know I was just joking about jelly tarts earlier with Zim, but I do think that another new jelly tart, why not? I mean, we had the brown sludge tart in Season 4, remember? That kind of saved their tail, sort of, with Rex Igneous, but for the most part, I do think that we'll get a new jelly tart. Come on, Barris is always baking, right? But I like the thought about that unicorn, though. I think that could be a good possibility because a 6-year-old would probably really enjoy that, right? They're mystical beings and they're so, come on, growing up, we were in love with all that sort of stuff. So Leola the Star Touch Unicorn, I should probably look into who that is if there's any more background info. But I do think this is something that is highly likely to happen in Season 5, maybe even in the form of a flashback. So we'll see. But y'all, now I want to dive into some of my theories that align with some of your thoughts as well. So I do think we'll get a new adorable animal to ooh and ah over, or Zim will finally speak. I keep coming back to that theory of Zim speaking because part of me believes it won't come until later, like I just mentioned, but they've gotta maybe break through and give Zim another layer to his character, because right now he's in that like young adult angst phase, and I almost feel like they've got to start giving him a voice. The barks are cool and the yips are cute, but he's too much like a puppy still, and he's gone through a lot. He's pretty much had to grow up faster than any other young dragon, I'm sure, but this would be a prime opportunity possibly at the end of the season to have Zim speak. But a cute new animal, again, I can see it with us being introduced into new areas of Zadia with the Tidebound Elves. Why not? Why not give us a cute new animal? Do I think it will be like a sea creature of sorts? Possibly. I could see that happening where they're not on land, so the only time we'll see them is in the water. So yeah, I could see a cute new animal, or Zim, again, speaking by the end of this season. But you guys know me. I'm not just going to read things for what they are on the surface. I looked at that tweet a few times by Aranehas, and I'm starting to believe that they're trying to subvert our expectations. Notice how Aranehas didn't say, tell her that there will be a special surprise that even a 6-year-old would love, you know? He didn't really get specific. If anything, he was still pretty broad with the special surprise. So what if he's thinking, well, if a 6-year-old's already enjoying the show, whatever surprises we throw at them that we already have planned are going to be something that 6-year-olds will love and 30-year-olds will love. You know, the age range is broad for this show. So I'm starting to think, y'all, that we're, of course, on the surface theorizing, yeah, this is for a 6-year-old. But oh no. I think it does get deeper than that. And the surprise I think happens in Season 5 is this. We will find out more about CALLUM'S family. It's been a mystery who CALLUM'S father is, for example, and a lot of you said it's probably Erebos, but I just don't know. I think that's maybe a too obscure of a theory to play with right now. If that happens, it feels like it's maybe out of left field. However, it would make for a very interesting showdown if CALLUM and Erebos eventually fight in the Dragon Prince. I think more realistically and more likely to happen is that we learn CALLUM'S family, you know, CALLUM'S mom and dad, have ties to Erebos in a special way that's not exactly, well, Erebos being CALLUM'S father, but Erebos either did something to CALLUM'S parents or knows about them, which makes CALLUM somebody incredibly strong and powerful that Erebos even wanted to control in the first place. And I think in this instance, Erebos will be the one to reveal it to CALLUM this season, saying something along the lines of, you're just like your father and mother who were weak and I defeated, so on and so forth. You know, we've heard this happen before in so many different shows and movies, but Erebos is going to be the one to reveal it to CALLUM, and CALLUM might not believe it at first, but oh boy, will CALLUM find out it's the truth. I can see that being heartbreaking for CALLUM and for Rayla, but what if CALLUM'S parents are also responsible for carrying out Erebos' terrible plans? Like, can you imagine? And then the entire group turns on CALLUM and thinks, boy, your lineage, that we can't rock with this. Like, we know you're different right now, but it's going to take time for us to build that trust up again because your parents are so evil, so you might have that evil bone in your body too that Erebos can prey on. Now, listen, we've been asking for this show to get more mature and have more layers to it and be more dynamic as we end this series. I mean, Season 7 is the end, so we're close, but can you imagine if that happens? I think that would be the turn we were looking for with CALLUM'S character, and that might force CALLUM to go alone and have his CALLUM alone moment. You know, like Zuko alone, you know, CALLUM alone. You probably caught that reference the first time. But this is something that I think is very likely to happen. Now, that is, of course, if they want to throw all the cards on the table in Season 5. I doubt they probably will do that, but it's a fun theory to play with. So there you have it, you guys. That's my little breakdown of what this surprise theory could be that co-creator of the Dragon Prince, Aranehas, teased us with on Twitter. But hey, if you didn't get a chance to participate in the community post, let me know down below what your theory is, and let me know your thoughts on the theories that I've thrown out there as well, because do I want to hear Zim speak? Yeah, that would be cute. Now, do I wonder how he would sound? Yes, because it can't be deep like, hello, I'm Zim. It's got to be something like, hey, I'm Zim. You know, something kind of cool like that. You know, it's got to be very laid back and chill. Can't be very regal like Zubeya. But again, I'm curious to hear all of your thoughts. And hey, if you've made it here at this point in the video, hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, y'all. We're so close to 20,000 subscribers. I want to get past that once the Dragon Prince Season 5 drops, because y'all, we're going to be talking about so much. We have all my reactions dropping, all my reviews, all my ranking lists, and so much more, my breakdowns and more theory videos after Season 5 releases. Hoping to get it early would be cool. If not, you'll be watching it with me opening weekend. So I'm super excited, guys. Thank you again so much for taking the time to watch this video and getting engaged in the community section of this channel, because yeah, I'm going to be throwing out more polls. I'm going to be asking more questions and more involvement with you, the fans, the real family, for these videos. Alrighty, y'all. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you at the next screening. Oh man, what if the surprise is literally just the jelly tart? I'll be like, Aaron House, you let us down.